crafty friends and Creative Heart Club members, we are back with September's card sketch, which features some lovely little pumpkins for the season. And if you missed my last YouTube video, I created all these beautiful little pumpkins that I plan to use today in our card. And these also feature the color scheme that for inspiration, but I forgot to print that out. But we're starting here with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I am trimming on the short edge at 4 1/4. And that's going to give me two A2 size cards, so 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm actually starting now, and that's actually a vertical size card, so the same type of card I made for the last card sketch. I really like this size, and I just like, I don't know, I like the height to it. So I decided to use that again, and I'm using some Crafty Power Tape here, and I'm doing a strip that I'm going to have for that decorative strip on the front of my card. And I just have this fall stamp set that I have had in my stash for a while, and I'm using some Catherine Pooler ink, Mandarin Spice. It's the same ink I used on my pumpkin, so it's going to match nicely. The stamp says Hello Sweater Weather. And then I also cut out a patterned piece for my background here with our card sentiment dies. So the scalloped one is from Catherine Pooler, and then the larger one is our A2 card sentiment die with the stitch edging. And now I'm just removed the backing of my Crafty Power Tape strip, and I'm adding a blue, which is a part of our color scheme inspiration with that orange and blue. And if you miss anything on the foil there, you can just rub it right back on. It's really, really simple to do with the tape, which is what I love a lot about the Crafty Power Tape. So I really love these two pumpkins here, but I'm not sure about this background, and I decided what I'm going to do is cut out another. So I have another A2 liner die I cut out, and now I'm grabbing On the Lake, which is a really beautiful blue color, again another Catherine Pooler color, and I'm using this direct to paper on my cardstock here. So this is just going to allow a nice blue border for a little bit of color contrast that looks great for my pumpkins and my stamp and everything. And then that will go on my card, which has another border. And so instead of white, I decided I'm going to grab that Mandarin Spice and do a little bit of orange for my border. So it's orange blue and then the white with the orange and blue details. So I just really wanted a little bit more contrast. I'm doing the same exact technique here, that direct to paper with the Mandarin Spice color. I just love this orange color. It's the perfect fall pumpkin orange color. But again, this is something that with this card sketch that looks really nice. It's a very simple one. You could definitely do this with something like leaves. If you wanted to do something a little simpler, you could do shapes or something of that nature, like circles, different size circles. You could do balloons or anything really that doesn't have to be technically seasonal. I just really wanted to have a nice seasonal card sketch for you all. And you could use these with any pumpkin die cuts that you have at home if you do want to follow along and do the pumpkins with me. So here I'm using some foam adhesive. I'm using the foam squares, and I used the thick one on the bright orange smaller one, and then the thin ones so I could tuck it underneath, and those are the perfect size. So look at how neat that matches with the outside of our card sketch. Now I'm going to work on the inside. So I've cut out an A2 liner die again, and then one of our small rectangles, and I have another stamp here from the same stamp set, and this one says Sweeter Than Pumpkin Pie, which I thought would be cute with all the pumpkins, and that looks great also in the Mandarin Spice. And now I'm going to grab my actual background here that I'm going to use, and I'm grabbing the polka dot stencil from our confetti layered stencil. It's such a versatile stencil set. You get 2 other stencils in our confetti layered stencil set, but here I'm just going to use it with a little bit of the blue and the orange that we used earlier, the On the Lake and Mandarin Spice, just as a decorative kind of polka dot background to add a little bit of color. So here I'm going to come through with the orange and kind of blend it into the blue. It does get a little bit brown in there, but it's not anything too horrible, and a lot of it's going to be covered up, so I'm not like super worried about it. And then I started ink blending to the side there and wanted it to kind of fade, so you can kind of see that, how it's going from darker to lighter. It looks great. And then I'm going to add my pumpkins at the bottom, just like our card sketch shows. So a card like this is very simple and quick to make, as long as you have your sort of like your accessories, I guess you can call them, like the pumpkins already done. So the pumpkins took me quite a while to make, but they're gorgeous and they're ready here for me for this particular card, and that just made it really easy for me to assemble this card and just to be inspired to create a card with my pumpkins. So here I'm doing the same layering technique with the foam squares. If you don't have these foam squares, we have them in our shop. Feel free to load up on them. The thicker ones are the regular size. are 2 millimeters, I believe, thick, and then the thin ones are half the size of that. And so it's just perfect for that layering effect that I love doing. And so now I'm going to do the same exact thing here with the Crafty Power Tape and the foil, and this is also in stock at Emily Moore Designs, so feel free to grab all this stuff, and it makes it so simple and easy to accessorize your cards. And I'm going to use a little bit of thin foam on this one down here so I don't create too much bulkiness on the inside of my card. But really, with our pumpkins done, this was such an easy card to make, and now it's all about just that assembly. So the blue matches the front of our card, obviously, so this will go in the front, and then we have the inside, and then I'm just going to make sure that this pumpkin, when I close my card, that it doesn't get in the way. So I already have some Crafty Power Tape on the back of my card here, and I'm just going to place this down. Our A2 liner die has a nice thin border around the actual A2 base of your card, so you can use it for both the inside and outside of your card like I'm using here today. So I'm going to do the same thing like I was just saying, and I'm going to just put that on the bottom half, and this is where you'd write your sentiments, and we have all these lovely pumpkins. It just looks so cute. And I'm just going to trim this pumpkin a little bit at the bottom here. So I have these really small scissors that I'm just going to trim the edge off here so that when I fold it down, it's not going to disrupt the actual card from folding. And I'm going to trim the side here off of my pumpkin because it's popping out a little bit of my A2, so that way it'll fit inside of an envelope. I also think this would be a great card, even though it doesn't specifically say happy birthday. We could have definitely used our happy birthday stamps here, our birthday sentiments by Emily Moore Designs. Would definitely go well for like a seasonal type birthday card, somebody who has an October, November birthday. This is perfect. So this is such a nice, fun card. We have our confetti stencil and our card sentiment dies here that are super versatile, and we got that strip of foil with the crafty tape and all those fun little details. So I hope you loved this. This was super fun to make, and make sure you check out September's card sketch and make a card of your own. Thanks for watching.